following program is a SUTV student production. The views expressed are not necessarily those of Salisbury University, the University System of Maryland, its regents, administration, officers, employees, or representatives.
Such as Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Dan.
At 7:30 in the morning beside the Wayne Street parking lot.
Good evening. Just a couple of hours ago, Dr. Janet Dudley Eschbach, the university's president, concluded her first town hall of the spring semester. Among other topics, the president discussed campus infrastructure, employee concerns, community outreach, and outlined some of her lifelong learning initiatives. Another topic that was key during the president's town hall was diversity and what the school is doing in an effort to address some of the diversity concerns that gained attention at the end of last semester.
As we start the new semester, Dr. Janet met with students, faculty, and staff to address concerns and highlight projects that she and the administration have been working on, as well as some of her plans to tackle diversity issues.
The reason I use the term underrepresented groups is because it's not just about African Americans or Hispanic Americans. There are issues, obviously, in our state that pertain pretty specifically to African Americans, but when it comes to hiring, when it comes to recruiting students, what we really want is a more diverse community. Ideally, a community that better reflects the demographics of our state and the nation.
We also spoke to students about what they're doing to assist in the campus's diversity efforts.
I'm not looking for in the moment change, because in the moment just means that's how you're feeling right now. And because you're feeling good right now, or we're feeling good right now, that doesn't mean that changes everything. This is an issue that's been going on for thousands of years. You know, we're talking, if you want to talk about color competition and color conflict, that's an issue that we've been dealing with. When we're talking about integration, which is what we're really still talking about. You know, it's got a new word, a nice new word, diversity. But when we're talking about establishing those lines and the barriers and the comfortability for other students to interact with students who have come from different cultures, we have to really take that into account. Like, we have to actively find a plan that's going to not only work, but it's going to work for a while.
I think like anywhere we have our issues to face in regard to diversity and making people feel comfortable and welcome, and we should probably discuss it more.
That was her best initiative, at least just saying, look, come to my office, I have an open door policy, and if I do have concerns and ways that we can fix these problems, that I'm open to it. That's her best thing, I think, that she's tried to do so far.
For SUTV News, I'm Sarah Wood.
Earlier in the week, I sat down with SGA's president, Tyler Gibson, to talk about what the student government is doing to address diversity concerns on campus. All right, Tyler, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
I want to get right into it and ask you about diversity.
Okay.
We've heard from the school's administration, we've heard from a number of students on campus, and what are some perceived issues, what they plan on doing about them. Is there anything that the SGA has planned to do outside of the normal scheduled events, scheduled things that they do every year?
Well, once this issue was brought up, we really grabbed a hold of it. Everyone at SGA loves talking about diversity and promoting diversity on campus. So we're going to be working with the students who have formed, I think they called it the Salisbury Student Committee, to talk about some of the diversity issues that they face on campus. We're going to work with them to promote the committee so general students can come and give input as well. We're going to make sure that their voices are accurately portrayed and taken seriously at the administration level. And then in addition, the SGA has kind of vamped up our diversity awareness programs, and we've reserved tables outside of student activities pretty much for the whole February, March, April time period, every Monday through 10 to 3, to kind of have a space where we can talk about diversity issues with students right one-on-one in a impersonal setting. And we think we're going to get a good response. We have it themed out, so our tables in February are going to be about Black history, diversity as it regards to race, I believe March is, I think it's Women's History Month. So I think our table is going to be themed about women in the workplace, women just in general in the journey that they've taken as it relates to their diversity. So SGA is taking the issues of diversity seriously, and we think that it needs to be because the students on our campus are very passionate about it.
And our full sit-downs with Dr. Janet, Matthew Jackson, and Tyler Gibson are all available on SUTV's YouTube page. About 2 weeks ago, former Salisbury Mayor and current City Councilman Jim Ireton announced his candidacy for the first congressional seat, currently occupied by Representative Andy Harris.
I'm here because the 1st District of Maryland, all the way from Taneytown to Pocomoke City, needs a congressman who doesn't just say no and vote no. I say to you today, we need a congressman who will go to Washington to make a difference, not a point, and that's why I've come here to Crisfield today to tell you I want to be your representative in the United States House of Representatives. And you know what? When we can say to people that we left Salisbury with $16 million of surplus every year while dropping fees and rates, I might have gotten under somebody's skin, but somebody's paying a lower water bill, and that was Jim Ireton working in Salisbury, my friends. Let's start this journey together. My name's Jim Ireton, and I want to be your next United States Congressman from Maryland's 1st District. Thank you very much. God bless you.
And now Matthew Goosetree is here to give us an idea of what to expect from the weather in what's already been a crazy month.
Thank you, Eli. Currently, we have temperatures at around 34 degrees with mainly clear skies. Because of a low-pressure system that moved through our area earlier this week, we have very cold temperatures. Our low tonight is going to be around 24 degrees. As you can see, earlier today we had a low-pressure system move off the coast and with its precipitation with it. Across the Midwest, we do have a front that has some snow ahead of it, but it should not affect our area. In the Great Lakes region, we do have a lot of snow from lake effect that's going to be pounding places in Pennsylvania and New York. That's going to go up to 2 feet of snow. We should get some flurries from this, but nothing too big. Into tomorrow, we're going to have a high-pressure system down in the southeast moving northeast, and it's going to be causing us to have clear skies, and still have that front across the Midwest, but shouldn't affect our area too much. Next slide. Moving into tomorrow's planner, tomorrow around 8 a.m., we're going to be mid-20s with partly cloudy skies. As the day goes on, we're going to have some clearing, and temperatures should reach about freezing, and then moving into tomorrow night, we're going to have about low 20s. Okay. Moving into the 5-day forecast, we do have very cold Arctic air coming in Friday night into Saturday. It's going to be causing some of the coldest temperatures this season. Into Saturday night, we could have up to low down to 5 degrees. And Sunday, we're going to have a high of 24 and a low of 14. And Monday, our high is going to be 43 with some showers moving in after the day is over. Eli, back to you.
Thanks for that, Matt. Governor Hogan recently gave the annual State of the State, in which he touted bipartisanship and crossing the aisle frequently as the main reason for what he saw as a successful year. He asked members of the General Assembly to continue to work together and with his office to tackle other important issues such as the heroin epidemic and continuing to help with matters related to the economy.
The riots and lawlessness that threaten to tear Baltimore City apart. For me personally, a life-altering diagnosis requiring me to publicly wage what is normally a very private battle. And last week, an historic winter storm had left a season's worth of snowfall in just 2 days. Together, we have been tested. But in the face of adversity, we were not Democrats or Republicans looking backward. We were Marylanders with our eyes fixed forward, working together for a better tomorrow. Our first and most important task was to correct our state's fiscal course and to get our economy back on track. For the first time in 9 years, working together, we adopted a budget that did not include a single tax hike. There is so much more that unites us than that which divides us. There is so much that we can find agreement on. In the days ahead, I extend my hand to you in cooperation and in devotion to our duty. And I ask each of you and all Marylanders to seek that middle ground where we can all stand together, because together we are stronger. Together, we can continue on this bold new path. And together, we can and we will change Maryland for the better.
And that does it for us on this week's edition of SUTV Evening News. For everyone at SUTV, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you right back here next week. We leave you now with some of the musical stylings of the university's president. Good night.
It's nice to be nice. When people come your way, say hello, give a smile, ask how do you do. Can I help you find your way? Smile, that will build you.